What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be giving you an update on exactly how I'm getting along with the Savage Affiliates course, and also exactly how my actual site is getting on. So as I'm currently building a website, about 28 pages now, 28, and yeah, it's currently got all different pages that are indexed. So I've got like about 28 pages that are indexed on Google, and the site's coming along really well. So I'm ranking for like about, I'd say probably about 14 different terms now. So it's doing really well, and I'm following all the course information from a guy called Franklin Hatchett. So he's the guy who's actually giving me all the sort of information of how to do this, how to register my site on Google Search Console. Over the last week, I've actually also registered, let me just get a bench. I've also registered my site on Bing's Search Console. So there's the Bing Search Console, and I've actually started getting traffic from Bing randomly just since I've done it. So I haven't force indexed any of my pages. I've just got traffic from the actual Bing platform just from registering the whole site altogether. So yeah, basically what I wanted to do this week is just a pure update on exactly how everything's getting on. Someone asked me in the comment section in the last video if I've made any money yet out of the site. Sorry, the lighting's bad. I haven't yet made any money out of the site, any commissions yet, but I've got about 350 page views so far, and that's probably pushed up to about 500 so far now since my last video. So it's going quite steady, and yeah, I see it being very bright throughout the future coming in. So I'm actually going to build it to 50 pages myself. Then I'm going to hire a writer to actually take it up to 100 pages, because I want it to be a 100-page niche website. I think within the niche that I've chosen with dogs and golden retrievers, there's going to be enough sort of space for me to build 100 pages on the site. So what I've actually got today as well is I've got a few notes of exactly the topics that I want to cover as well. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss is how I'm actually approaching this website building altogether now, because with any business, I was always thinking like, how can I take a more holistic approach to what I'm doing in regards to the actual site. So I know at the beginning when I was doing it, it was more like I was just basically building a site and whatever else, and I was thinking, how can I actually, build a sort of system, because I know everything it requires that is like a whole system. So what I decided to do, that's fine, someone just skipped around me because I was recording. But yeah, what I decided to do, I was thinking, how can I have like a holistic approach to the business and build out like an actual system, because everything has systems, like as we know. And I think it's really easy to get stuck behind just building one little thing like on a computer and whatever else, and forgetting that you're actually building an established business. So things like, I'm not saying about taxes and all of that yet, but it's like learning the different components of the business that will make it move, like all in cognitive sort of format. So what I'm saying is, if you're learning like about content, then you also need to focus on learning about backlinks. You also need to focus on, learning about on-page and off-page SEO and really honing on all of this stuff. You might need to learn about email marketing, how to actually increase your conversions. So you might want to start using things like heat maps on your pages and things like that. You don't want to sort of run before you can walk, but at the same time, you really need to understand that this is a very holistic sort of thing. So I was looking for that, and I came across obviously Sam Ovens, because I've been following him recently, and he was talking about, sorry, the lighting's so bad. Yeah, he was talking about, my hair looks so rough as well, bloody hell, that receding. He was talking about exactly, the type of approach you need to take to any type of online business that you're doing. So the few things that I wanted to discuss is, let's have a look. Talk about blah, 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 explain how. Okay, so yeah, what I did actually list out recently is all the different things that I might be doing wrong that could potentially harm my business and how far it will go. So the bloody hell, I'm in a place where there's loads of like dug holes. I don't know if it's badgers or something like that. But yeah, so basically I was thinking about, all the things that I've been doing wrong that I could improve on what I'm doing in the site. So things like, just in general, actually, I would say. I was talking to one of my work colleagues the other day, and he was asking me what I do outside and whatever else, because obviously I'm only part-time at work. So I drive trains during my part-time job, and then the rest of the time I spend building businesses online and whatever else. And basically, my colleague was, he was asking me, like, he was saying, sorry, don't you think success is lucky? So I don't know how many people have that type of outlook on people who become successful, but I think success is never accidental. So like, everyone who becomes successful is usually doing it on purpose because of the things that they've learned and the advantages that they sort of take when it comes. So sorry guys, my memory card just got full up on the camera, but yeah, so I think it's never accidental of anyone becoming successful. So I just wanted to clear the air on that for anyone who sort of is following me and questioning that. So what else? Yeah, the other thing that I actually have been focusing on recently is how I can add value to the marketplace that I'm currently in. So for example, if I look at all of the different people that are inside of the niche that I'm going into with dogs, it's like going to sort of different places like forums and whatever else and find out what problems those people have. So what I've done is I've actually listed out all different problems that different people are having in that industry and how I can solve it. And the way you're going to solve it is in the form of your service or your product or whatever in your site. So that's what I'm focused on, is actually solving a problem. And the moment you start focusing on exchanging value for, sort of in exchange for another form of value, maybe it's money or whatever else, that's when you start going down the right track. Because I think it's easy to get sucked up in thinking, oh yeah, I want to make money, because everyone wants to make money. But if you think about anything in this world that was ever worth having, like things like this iPhone, for example, look at how like sort of unique this is made. So whoever made this, like obviously Steve Jobs is behind, the method behind the madness and whatever else, but if you look at it, you never get a product that's this good, like this effective and can change the world in this way if the person was focused around money. So if you're focusing your website around money, you're basically just putting like crap out onto the marketplace. Whereas, if you focus on delivering value to the marketplace, you'll be rewarded in big ways. So I think it's really important to list out all of the different problems that your industry has and how you're going to go about solving it. And you're going to solve it in the form of your site. So this stuff is not really the technical stuff, but it's just about the generic approach that you need to have to your site, which I think, you need to have in that sense. This is very subjective, but I believe this is the approach you need to take. Yeah, so I've got here that, I've brainstormed all different ways of exactly how I can fix these people's problems. So for example, inside of my industry, there's things like dogs experiencing hip displacement. So for dogs who have hip displacement, the owners are very stressed, upset, sad, and I need to take them to a point of where they're happy, cheerful, and their dog's living a healthy life. So I need to base products around my sort of site that can help them to achieve that. So one of the things I've looked at is orthopedic beds. I can't pronounce it correctly, but anyway, orthopedic beds. And what that does is that caters to golden retrievers who have back pains or hip displacements and things like that. And it provides like different elements of support of where they use support foam to actually cater to the dog's needs, so that's like one of the things I look at. Yeah, the other thing is, I'm gonna say, if you're following many different people, then stop following so many different people at once. Like, because what happens is you follow one person and then this person gives you some good advice. I'm right now in the middle of a field, you know that. Some person gives you good advice, so you get that advice and then you follow someone else and they give you advice and then you think, oh my God, and look at my white trainers, sorry, I just got to get that in right now. I've got white trainers on, I'm so stupid. But yeah, so someone gives you good advice, then you go to someone else and they give you good advice and you try to sort of mix the information, but what happens there is you've just messed up the person's strategy. Because if you were to do it, just say with something like food, if someone gave you a recipe and then you went and you got someone else's recipe, then you've just basically messed the meal up. It's not going to come out the same way that that person cooks it or the way they gave you the recipe, for the outcome. So I think it's really important to just follow one person. Use YouTube to find like someone who you think is genuine and whatever else, and then just follow what they say, you know, religiously. And if you get stuck, then they usually got, you know, like a sort of point of, I don't know, like a group or something you can get into of where you can ask some questions and things like that. And definitely if it was like someone like me, then you can reach out to me because I'm very accessible. You know, in the links below, you can get through to me. You can ask me any questions. I'll make the time to actually get back to you, you know, any time that you leave the questions. And I just want to say thank you as well to anyone who's here, because I can't thank you enough, you know, with everything that you guys are supporting with. And yeah, to the person who was asking about the course, anyone who actually is thinking about buying the course, if you use my link, I'll do my absolute best to help you as much as I can, you know, in regards to you know, making a successful website. I think I've learned quite a lot, and there's a lot of skills that I can obviously, you know, help you with to developing with your site as well. So far anyway. So yeah, the other thing I want to talk about is your mindset, because so many people, we can learn strategies and things like that about how to build these sites and whatever else, but the big thing is if you don't have the right mindset, then you're not going to be able to sort of, you know, take things on board in the right way. So I really recommend, like, first of all, building up your sort of mindset about how you look at business and money and things like that before you actually, you know, go into site building, or before you learn any type of strategy to actually get you a monetary result. Because you need to have the right mindset, all the tenacity, perseverance, and just like your generic outlook on how you see life and your beliefs, you know, the things you believe in. Because if you still have the mindset of an employee and you're very doubtful, pessimistic and things like that, you're just never ever going to make it, and you're not going to have what it takes to actually succeed in anything, let alone, you know, site building. So if we look at this other thing I've got here, email marketing and copywriting. So I think, like, you know, it's important, if you're going to get into site building, you need to learn about how to write copy, because eventually you're going to go into building sort of adverts and things like that. So you need to know how to write persuasively to convince people to think the same way that you are. So I think that's one of the most important skills that you can actually learn in this day and age. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the key search tool. So the tool I'm using at the moment, because a few people have asked me on a few things, you know, of what I'm using and how I'm finding my keywords and all of that stuff. So I'm using a tool from a site called keysearch.co, and on that site you can find multiple different things like organic keywords of your competitors. I'll leave like a little video so you guys can see right now just over the screen of exactly, you know, what that tool does. On that tool you'll also see the page authority of your competitors, the domain authority of your competitors, and how many links are referring to that site, and you can also see the actual referring website. So you could potentially contact those sites and actually get backlinks from the same sites that they're actually getting them from, so you can build up the same type of authority. You can also check, obviously, like I said, the volume as well, so how much traffic they're getting from each word, and also you can check whether they've got anchors and what anchors they're using, and the follow of the links, so do follow links and no follows and things like that. So it's a really good tool. I'd definitely recommend it. And yeah, that's about it. It's a really good tool. It's only about $13 a month. If you use my link below, that's $13. I think it's usually about $17 or something like that. So it's really reasonable, and it pulls the data from that Moz as well. So that's like a very reputable company in the SEO world, which many of you may know about already. But yeah, that's about it. That's the tool I'm using. And what else am I using at the moment? I think that's it. That's the only tool that I really use day to day for SEO. There's also a website I use called northcut.com or something that allows me to check competitors' pages, how many they've got indexed, so I know sort of how big the sites are that I'm going up against. But that is about it, guys. That is it, and that's the update for the moment. At the moment the course is really going good. So after I've built up this site to 50 pages, I think over the next week or so I'm going to start focusing on actually reaching out to different websites and trying to get some guest posts and trying to get some strong authority backlinks and things like that. I'm going to start Yeah, guys, I can't even remember what I was even saying. I can't remember, but I'll probably remember after the video's done, because you got kind of pressure. You never get used to this thing. Well, I haven't yet, because I'm quite kind of an awkward person. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I was talking about the key search tool, wasn't I? I don't even know what I was talking about. What was it? I don't even remember. But anyway, guys, yes, that's what my plan is currently for the moment of what I'm doing with the site. I'll be giving you regular updates and documenting, you know, all the way to the first commission when the site starts making money. I'll be disclosing everything. If you want to know anything about the course or you have any questions about that, then simply just reach out to me. I'll be willing to answer any of the questions. And if you enjoy the video, then make sure you leave a like below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. That'll be it. Okay, peace.